Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. Welcome to Grassroots Online. This week we're on location from the Hectorville Hounds Football Club. I'm your host, Tommy Javor, with co-host, the footy chick, Lisa Wright.
That would be me. Thank you again, Java. We're actually not getting too bad at this now, so...
if we don't say so ourselves.
If we don't say so ourselves. Heats happened last week in the league, so let's get to it straight away, and of course we'll start Div 1 now. Boy, have we got an exclusive for you this week. Now, Tommy, I understand you went out to Salisbury North last week.
I certainly did. After I got down towards the end of the great Mickey O putting on a bit of a football show, kicking 5 goals out of 10 for Salisbury North. Didn't quite get the chocolates against Henley, but I managed to secure an interview with the great Michael O'Loughlin and coach Eugene Warrior. And also you get a bit of game footage, so hopefully that will be coming out.
All right, well, let's before we go into all the scores from over the week, let's go and have a look at that interview.
Roodies, I've been lucky enough to get a hold of 2 stars, 2 ex-former AFL stars, the Indigenous round. Firstly, welcome to the show, coach of Salisbury North, Eugene Warrior.
Thanks, Tommy.
And it's been an absolute pleasure, obviously, here with one of my idols, Mickey O'Loughlin, formerly the Sydney Swans.
How are you, mate?
Oh, it's great to just be standing next to you. I've got some great footage right at the end, the banana.
Yeah.
Look, obviously you're Salisbury North juniors. How did it come about you playing today, mate?
Oh, look, I think I've always had the passion to play at least one game. I played a lot of junior footy here. The opportunity came up. Eugene was kind enough to give me a crack at, I suppose, at the A grade level. Some really good discussions with obviously the board, and I've got a lot of friends here, so it was always something that was on the horizons, and I guess we were able to make it happen. You know, the Indigenous round. Unfortunately, couldn't get a win today, but it was an absolute ball.
You kicked a few, did you?
Yeah, we got a couple of goals, just not enough to get over the line, but I think more for me was actually coming back here and showing my appreciation and support of the club for everything they've done for me over the journey.
Fantastic, mate. I did speak to Captain Joe Hay. He said every time you went near the ball today, the whole place lifted, so it must have been a special day.
It was. I had a lot of family and friends coming here, and we'll get to the club rooms a bit later on, have a bit of a sportsman's night and have a bit of a chat. So, look, I spent a lot of my childhood here, and it's a special place for me, and I'm just absolutely wrapped that I was able to chuck the jumper on one last time and run around out here at our home ground in Salisbury North.
Well, maybe you've done enough to get another game. Any chance of being another cameo?
Oh, look, Eugene, as you said, that was it was great. For me, it was fantastic to be able to play under Eugene. I think he's doing a great job here at Salisbury North, and I think that might be it for me. I just turned 35, and that's my second, I suppose, competitive game for about 3 years. And the legs are a bit sore now, mate.
Now, nice segue there, because you are doing beautiful things here, Huge. Obviously, you didn't get the chocolates today, down by 40 points. Only a couple of goals down at half time, but 4 and 2, season's in your hands.
Yeah, look, we're actually going along quite well. We're just building as each game progresses. So, it's still only early, but the boys have showed some real improvement throughout the course of the year, and hopefully we can only get better. But like Michael said, we've got a lot of young kids that are coming through the system. We've probably got about 10 guys that have played less than 20 games. So, the only way that they can get better is to play these big games and to play A-grade footy and to get that experience. And we'll keep going with them, and hopefully they do the job.
Certainly an exciting time for the club, though. You're on the way up, knocking off Gazer last week, was it?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Henley, obviously, I think the benchmark possibly this year, judging on form, maybe St. Peter. Next week, Sacred Heart, a game you can't take lightly.
Yeah, Friday night. We've got on Friday night, so I'm actually heading down there now to obviously scout them and have a look at them. So, who would have thought that the 2 grand final sides from last year would be where they are. Obviously, Gazers doing it all right, but obviously Sacred Heart they haven't won a game yet. But stranger things happen.
Anyone on their day, still a good team. Thank you so much for giving us your time, mate. Very much better. Best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Tommy.
And thank you, Mickey O, just for being Mickey O. You're a star.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Java, you get all the great interviews, don't you?
Oh.
You've done very, very well for yourself.
The scoops. I get the scoops.
Absolutely. Now, Just in more Div 1 news, Tommy, did you have a big spot last week?
I did. The kiss of death on Spock. I finally tipped him and found a way for him to lose, going down to Ross Trevor.
Yeah, absolutely. And Julie Litster again kicking 7.
Absolutely on fire.
Absolutely. Now, while we're going through the rest of the divisions, what we might do is just take a look at some footage from the Gazer and Shock game on Saturday night, and also the Salisbury North versus Henley game on Saturday as well. Just on the Gazer game, probably the most exciting thing that happened, I reckon, was the streaker in the last quarter. But however, in all the excitement and due to this being a family program, I didn't get it on the footage.
Man or woman streaker?
Man streaker.
Oh, who cares then?
Man streaker. Man streaker, and obviously Gazer running out fairly convincing winners after all that as well.
Any mail on who the streaker was or where he's from?
The streaker is known to me, yes, but to protect his innocence, I will not name names.
It wasn't Grant Goodall, was it?
No, it certainly was not Grant Goodall.
Just checking.
Okay, we'll have a new host next week.
Just joking, Grant.
Okay, anything for Div 2 for you that stood out?
Oh, the Adelaide Airport Div 2. Look, not really business as usual. I guess the one thing I can't believe, Portland, with the 7th highest percentage in the league, or 3rd lowest, however you want to look at 4th lowest, are on top at 5-1. So they win the close ones, Portland. Give credit where it's due.
Oh, absolutely. They just keep plugging through, and they've actually got, I think, 7 or 8 first kicks out as well. So.
Oh, don't know if you believe everything you hear from Portland people.
Yeah, well, and also Adelaide Uni also climbing their way up that ladder as well, knocking off Tea Tree Gully on the weekend. Okay, Division 3, Villiers, Division 3.
Yes, Payman finally took the Pies, knocking off Karaka by 28 points. That's not really a big story, but made me happy.
Probably not.
But Kilburn, I think, is the one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, absolutely. After losing their points last week, they've managed to knock themselves off the bottom of the ladder already, defeating hot favourites.
Yep.
Smosh West Lakes.
Knocking Smosh off top spot. I did tip Kilburn. I said they'll bounce back. Jamie Thomas saw the ammunition he needed to fire up the boys. And
absolutely.
Great win for the Chicks.
Absolutely. And I don't think it will be long before they'll be in the top 5 again too, just quietly.
Yep.
Okay. What about Division 4? Reserves, Army Reserves, Division 4.
Probably the big one on that one was Elizabeth seemed to have control of Greenacres. They're up by 6 goals at half time, but Greenacres 15 goals 3, that accurate kicking, that's good football, and it got them over the line to the tune of just the 7 points. But Elizabeth 12-14 had a lot more scoring shots, 8 more scoring shots. We talk about it every week, but didn't get the job done.
Yeah, I just also want to make mention of Plimpton as well. Very, very unlucky, going down by only 3 points to Golden Grove on the weekend, with Dashil Ravlich kicking 4 goals for the Kookaburras, and good to see Vanderhart still featuring in the best of the Red Dogs there as well. Division 5.
Division 5. North Haven starting to come of age. Maybe those 20 new players that you were criticising earlier on are starting to gel.
Well, hopefully they don't gel this week because we've got them. And every time you say that, people beat us. So
yes, it's good, isn't it?
It's still
great.
However, we won't talk any more of that. We kicked a very impressive score of 10 goals 26 on the weekend and still managed to win somehow. Good for us. And Glenunga back on top of the ladder after knocking off Luthies and inflicting their first loss for the year.
Good work there to Chad Burke and the boys.
Absolutely.
Of course, Lisa, the highest placed team who is undefeated. There's only 2 of them left now.
Yes, it's like last man standing, isn't it?
It is.
Who's it going to be?
I guess, it's no surprise because they're coached by the great Jeff Riddle, and hasn't he had some accolades thrown at him this week? Doing beautiful things down at Mawson Lake, 6-0.
They can do no wrong at the moment, and I guess it's just a matter of whether they can maintain that, what type of depth they've got once the injuries start coming in as well.
I did ring President Moosey Emery and asked him if he could give us a comment, and he said, no comment.
That's very unlike Moosey.
Yes.
Isn't it, just? Division 7.
Mitchell Park, the only other undefeated team in the A grade.
Yes, absolutely. Paul Flinders Uni, we have to make mention of the Port Crabs. You've got to take your hat off to those blokes who just go out every week and fight their hearts out and are just losing by massive, massive amounts. Last week they actually didn't register a score against Tea Tree Gully, who kicked 31-21.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I've been there. I played for Burnside Kensington as we slowly died our death, and I remember going down by 30 goals about 3 weeks in a row. And it's not fun, but you've got to man up. You've got to man up.
Absolutely. Just one other West End stat. You like that? West End stat?
West End stat.
West End
very
stat.
good.
Just
Best
one
end
other.
of the day. West End of the day.
West End stat. If we can go back to Division 3. Now, if you thought Division 5 was absolutely impossible to pick last year, take a look at Division 3 if you'd like to go through it.
It is tighter than a frog's back passage. basically the top 5 are all 4 and 2. That's all we really need to say
and
about
that's it. So that's really going to go down to the wire, I reckon. So good luck to all those teams in Div 3.
Kilburn in the sights would have the top 5 in the sights.
Oh,
Kilburn, they've got some great footballers, and I'd look for them to really make a play.
As I said, despite what's happened, I really don't think anyone's going to write them off.
An event like that
anytime
could
soon.
actually galvanise them and make them even hungrier.
Best of luck to them. Well, that's all we've got for this segment. We will be back very shortly with our footy trick segment here at Hectorville Football Club.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Footy Trip. The Footy Trip's brought us a lot of sight and sound so far this year. We've caught up with, well, let's see, Bulldogs, Chicks, Thunders, Hawks, Reds, but this week we unleash the Hounds. The Hounds from Daly Oval, the Hectorville Hounds. Stay tuned, Rooters, and meet all the sights and sounds from the Hectorville Football Club.
I've perched myself at my favourite spot at any football club, which is the bar. And with me at the moment, I have got the Hectorville chairman, Snowy Whitington. Snowy, thanks for joining us.
Welcome to Hectorville, Lisa.
Oh, thanks very much for having us. As I said, we love getting around to the clubs. Now, what's been going on off-field around the Hectorville Football Club this year?
We've had a few functions, but junior activities on Sundays, Friday night games keeps us all busy, as well as the normal home game after game activities. And we've only had the one home triple header this year so far, but we're looking forward to a few more in the coming weeks.
Absolutely, because triple headers are obviously good for income, and it keeps all your volunteers in the same place as well. It makes things a lot easier. Yeah,
it certainly makes it a lot easier to share the load between the volunteers. So
absolutely. And speaking of volunteers, is there anyone around the club that you'd like to give a plug to, you know, those who just work hard at it every week in, week out?
Yeah, well, like most clubs, we have a small army, so to speak, but we always welcome new people to it. But our treasurer, Eddie Kershaw, does a lot of work. Collie, who's sitting at the bar over there, he still produces our daily dossier, which is the program
the
here,
newsletter.
which
No,
is
it's always good to have someone to do the newsletter.
Comprehensive guide that's got juniors and senior information every week. And Michael May, who's also at the bar, does a bit of social functions for us. So
perhaps we could
plus
get a shot over at the bar in just a sec, just while you finish reading your magazine. Thank you, Tom. Beautiful. There you go. Yeah, as I said, volunteers are so hard to find, so it's really good to thank the volunteers as well. Just on that, obviously you need money to run a club. As who would you like to thank in terms of sponsorship?
Well, we've got a major sponsor here that sponsors the club, which is the Glynn Hotel. So we thank them. They've been on board for a few years now. So we really welcome their support, and we'll be back there after game because we've got an away game at Greenacres this week. So we'll be back there to do our awards in their sports bar this week. We've got OAMPS, which are insurance brokers, on the spot locksmiths, and a cast of other smaller sponsors that I won't go into all at once, but they're all in our dossier, which people can see every time they visit Hectorville.
Absolutely. And I guess for anyone out there watching that is, you know, perhaps thinking of changing clubs or, you know, is new to South Australia, what would be the one reason you'd give them to come and play at Heckies or come and be a part of the Hectorville Football Club?
Well, anybody who's been here sees that we enjoy wonderful facilities, both in the club rooms and the grounds, which are always in really good condition. Campbelltown Council looks after us, and we've been moving forward with upgrades to the club rooms over the last few years, so plus the expansion of our juniors, so we've got good juniors coming through. Within the next 3 to 5 years, we would hope to have teams in every grade of juniors in the North East Metro Association, so from that aspect it's looking very positive.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like it's all looking up at the Hectorville Football Club, and it's always been one of my favourite places to come to because the Oval's absolutely beautiful. Snowy, we thank you for your time tonight. All the best for the rest of the year.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
I'm here with three of the stars of the Hectorville Football Club who had a very... Just nodding away while I say stars. You two look a lot alike. Who had a very interesting summer. They happened to actually win the premiership, the AFL Nines Premiership Eastern Conference. So allow me to introduce Ryan.
Yep.
He is Ryan.
That's me.
Chris with the Gunners. Do you want to give us a little...
Not today.
Okay, and the captain of the AFL Nines team from Hectorville was Dan DeVilla. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey, how you going?
Don't grab me on the microphone. We've discussed this. Now, boys, you had a great season. You joined the comp that was at Jeps Cross this year and won the premiership. Tell us a little bit about it.
We just found out about it this year and thought we'd give it a go. It's a good thing to have in the summer to keep you fit, and it's pretty fast pace. Everyone takes it pretty lightly. It's good fun.
Yeah, is it well managed?
Yeah, well, this guy here manages it and he always does a good job and makes sure everyone's happy and playing by the rules.
No worries. Any chance you'll show us your abs?
Nah, not today either.
Now, conspicuous by his absence is the only man to ever be suspended, Peter Francisco. He's disappeared into the showers. We're not going there. But what opportunity did it lead to for yourself and for a couple of other teammates?
Well, a couple of us got to play for the grand final of the NAB Cup up in Footy Park. That was good fun, a bit of an experience, and hopefully do it again next year.
No worries, and it's great to be out at Hectorville. Just want to ask you boys, will you win the premiership this year?
Oh, probably. Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely. Oh, that was that twin thing going on.
Yeah, lock it in.
No worries. Best of luck, Greenacres, this weekend.
Yep.
Best of luck, boys. Have a great season. As we do every week on the footy trip, I've managed to secure an interview with the coach of the Hectorville Football Club. Thanks for having us at the club, Darren Francis.
No worries. Thanks for coming out, guys. It was great.
No worries. Now let's talk about the glory days of Darren Francis. Obviously, you're an experienced stalwart of the Hectorville Football Club. Back-to-back premierships, 2009, 2010. Tell us a bit about that.
It was great. It really was. We were very young when we won the first one, and sort of motored on from there. And the boys have stuck together, and we've done well. We probably should have done a bit better last year, but hoping for better things this year.
So 2009 was the Div 6 premiership, 2010 the Div 5. Climatising maybe a little bit to Div 4 last year. How are you finding? I know you won your first 4 games this year, but how are you finding? And you're 4-2. How do you find Div 4 now, 2012?
It's a good comp. It's pretty tight. I think we found out the last couple of weeks that if you drop off half a quarter, then you're going to get hurt, and that's what we've unfortunately been able to do is to play 4 consistent quarters. We've always sort of dropped off a little bit, and it's hurt us.
And you haven't come across, all the talk is only Mercedes Jets, the team to beat. You haven't played them yet, have you?
No, played them in the last round of the year, so round 9.
Yeah, you'd be looking forward to that challenge for sure.
Yes, yeah, on more ways than one, because I used to play out there as well. So
did you?
Yeah, it's always good to play against the Jets.
Now, also just a bit of history on yourself. I understand that you're actually the brother-in-law of the great steamboat Ricky Pearce from Portland.
Yeah, from Portland. Yeah, we had a trial game this year, and unfortunately they knocked us off. But we'll see, we can't get happening next year.
Yeah, we had a trial game against him. He was a funny man, the old steamboat. He spent a bit of time on this show already. Next thing I want to touch on is obviously the boys will be watching. We saw some great speckies out there, and we've been made very welcome at the club. Who are the stars, mate? Who's been standing out this year?
Oh, we've had a couple that really stood out. A couple of new players. Jake Mazzoni, a new player to the club this year. He's really one of our juniors has come back. He's played very well.
I think I just saw him on the board back there. Is that Jake Mazzoni?
Yeah, that's the one. He's a youngster under 16s. We've had a couple of other guys, obviously. Luke Broadbent, we spent a lot of time at centre half forward this year, and he's doing very well. So, we're our captain, obviously, Wiz doing well.
Boy that came across from the Brighton Bombers, moved into the area and just fought himself out, I was told, by the Seagrove coach.
That's the one, yeah, Big Will. He's done very well. He's obviously gets his hand on the ball first for us, so he's great.
Oh, he's huge. Anyone that needs to lift? The Lambos brothers, maybe?
Oh, you get stuck in the Lambosses. Obviously, the box all across half-back and all that sort of stuff. No, they're... look, we all need to lift. We know we obviously let ourselves down the last couple of weeks and hopefully make amends this week.
When you say you let yourself down, I mean, you only went down to Salisbury West, who are always a tough team, by, was it 8-10 points, something like that?
Yeah, it was 2 goals, or just over 2 goals, I think.
This week you've got Greenacres. Now, Greenacres have been a little bit inconsistent, sporadic if you like, coming from 6 goals down, and you're at Greenacres. You're looking forward to the challenge of going to the Greenacres?
Certainly am. They gave us an absolute belting there last year, and I think they might have kicked 12 goals in the first quarter last year, so we'll be out to amends that, and it should be a good game.
Nice. Now, Hectorville isn't just a football club, it is a sports community club. I noticed that you've got the tennis courts, and just looking around the board, basketball, netball, football, cricket, the whole lot. I mean, it really must be a great place to be a part of.
It certainly is, yeah. The netballers have really come on this year. Got quite a few teams in all sort of grades, and they're very strong, doing well. The tennis and the cricket, obviously, more a summer sort of sport, but they've done well as well this year.
No worries. Now, you've obviously been lucky enough to taste premiership success, and every coach dreams of it. But realistically, what's the goal for this year? What are you setting your sights on?
Oh, we certainly want to finish in the top 2. That's what we've sort of set our sights on. We've let ourselves down the last 2 weeks in particular, but hopefully we can gather some momentum again and get back up there. I think really wanted to get a double chance to do
Absolutely.
well, even though Kilburn proved that wrong last year. But
you don't want to rely on coming from 5th too often. It hasn't happened too many times in too many competitions.
No, very true. Don't want to come from 5th.
Thank you very much for allowing us into your club tonight, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the year.
Thanks very much. Good on you.
Okay. Well, the shy young fellow I have with me at the moment, you're probably thinking, okay, another player interview, but this guy just isn't any player. Our friend Nick here actually comes from Canada. So what we're here to find out is how the hell he got here and how he started playing for the Hounds. Nick, thanks for joining us on Grassroots.
No worries.
No worries. Now, how long have you been in Australia for?
As of late, 6 months I've been here.
Okay, and how did you come to play Aussie rules football?
I started in high school. I actually went to Merrittville High School and moved to Canada for university. So I'm back here on exchange, just playing some footy with some mates.
You got an accent really, really quickly.
Yeah. Sorry for all those who can't understand.
So you're actually not a stranger to Australian rules football then?
I know it somewhat. Yeah, this is my second year playing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so how have you come to be at the Hectorville Hounds?
Just my friends from high school. They all play out here, so I thought I'd come out and give it a go.
Excellent. And how do you rate it with whatever you played over in Canada?
Oh, it's up there with ice hockey in Canada. Yeah.
Excellent. You played ice hockey over there?
I did.
We're not quite as violent here.
No.
No. Well, no worries. As long as you're enjoying your football, and just goes to show that the AFL or amateur league football is truly multicultural, I guess, if you will. Nick, thanks for having a chat. Good luck for the year, matey.
Cheers.
Jimmy B, A grade, half back, should be full forward, but we'll work on it, whatever.
Luke Broadbent, I play centre half forward, probably the best centre half forward in the comp.
It's pretty pale.
Sam Pemble, A grade, half forward, flank, midfield. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I definitely wouldn't be the lasagna.
When I get to play full forward and there's no one in the goal square, no one in the 50, it's all good.
When Michael Howson's not playing.
Oh, that would be Chris Lambos, and none of us know why.
Yeah, Chris Lambos has some pretty big muscles that he likes to check out every now and then.
Yeah, Chris Abs Lambos looks himself a fair bit. I think he thinks he's a bit of an Italian mafia man, but definitely not.
Jeez. Oh, there's a big list.
Who's just out there?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with Housen, unfortunately. He looks a bit like the dictator.
I have to go with Merlin. He looks like that TV show on Channel 10, Merlin.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Michael Howson as well. He's a different kind of character.
Yeah, it's just... Okay, massive grabs I promised and massive grabs we got. Now, out of the lot of them, these are the three I thought were the best. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Justin O'Sanasek.
Jared McDonald.
Beautiful. All right, so what we do now is our old friend Cheers for Beers. Our friends behind us here are going to cheer who they thought was the biggest massive grab for the night, and they of course will win the fantastic carton of West End. All righty, have we got our cheering voices on? Yes, aren't we all just absolutely thrilled to be here? All right, mark number one. Mark number two. And mark number three. Oh, close one. I reckon we give it to this one here. Woo! There go the glasses. Congratulations, the West End's all yours. A big, big thank you to the Hounds for having us out tonight. We'll see you at the club next week.
Oh, what a super night it's been at the Hectorville Hounds Football Club, Lise.
One thing I've actually noticed about the Hectorville Hounds, and they might get a bit embarrassed by this, and I've noticed it over the years that they tend to be very well built. The young Hectorville lads, they're nice up top, nice shape. Oh, you might not have noticed it, but I certainly have.
I missed that, but yeah.
Anywho,
good on you
let's
boys
move on.
for being built upstairs.
Anyway,
And they're nice people too with personalities, Lisa. As you would have well seen. Anyway, we've got some massive games this round. One that interests me in Division 1 is St Peter's. How will they bounce back from their first loss of the year? Because you know they had all that momentum up, and I'll tell you what, it's not too much bigger challenge over the years. They're at Caterham Oval, so they're at their home game. Goodwood are visiting, and Goodwood are on the march.
yes, they certainly are on the march, and
Stung from their a very late, they were up most of the day against Broadview, I'm led to believe, and Broadview stole the game.
you just stole the words out of my mouth. That's
Yep.
exactly what I was going to say. That's right, I'll just leave it to you.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
And but I reckon that's going to be an absolute barn burner game. Should be very close, and another close game for Goodwood. They're very good at them though. So.
And I think coming up against Spock as well will probably show Goodwood exactly, I guess, where they're aiming for this year as well. You know, exactly where they're at as well. So, and exactly the other way around as well with Spock. You know, if you can beat someone with as much, I guess, experience and you know the reputation of Goodwood Saints, well then you know you're going to do well in Division 1.
Yep, so Henley are my new team to beat though this year, definitely. From what I saw on the week, I didn't see a lot, but even the way they carry themselves, their management, and they look good. They look real good. Division 2, I've got one for you. I'm tipping an upset in Division 2. Watch Walkerville defeat Portland this week.
Really?
If you're anywhere near Walkerville, get on down to Walkerville. Walkerville will beat Portland. Remember where you heard it first, Luke Hosey. It's a personal message. But there's a bigger game, Lisa. My good mate Dale Aegis, remember Dale from
Yes.
the Goodbye,
Yes.
whatever it was.
Yes.
He's another great initiative from Dale, great man. It's a Dreamtime game. It's at Blair Athol Reserve. It's between Kilburn and CBC this weekend. So get on down and support that. That is a great cause.
That will be a fantastic game, and I think this is either the second or third year they've actually been running this Dreamtime game now, and it's received great response not only from around the club and around the league, but around the community as well.
Yeah, Seabock have very quietly climbed into second place, winning 4 of their last 5 games. So again, this will be a game Kilburn need to win.
Absolutely.
There must be one more game somewhere. If we just slide across to Division 5.
Oh, the most anticipated game in the amateur league thus far in 2012.
It's Fitzroy and Glenunga at Fitzroy Oval. Now, for those of you who don't know the history,
Well, the history is that we all know that that Chad Burke, the coach of Glenunga, took up that spot a couple of years ago, and first of all took a couple of mates, and I think ended up with about 11 or 12 playing at Glenunga. So,
and it decimated Fitzroy.
Look, it did. Obviously,
Pretty.
they didn't win. Sorry, a game last year, and have now come down to Division 5. But this is going to be sheep stations. This is going to be one fantastic game of football. It is going to be hard, and I think, you know, although they say that it's not going to happen, I think there'll probably be a few scores to settle there.
And I think what you will see on the sideline certainly is a gentleman by the name of Grenville Dietrich drinking at least one of these. With a durry hanging out of the mouth, with a few things to say to a few boys from the Glenunga Football
Absolutely.
Club.
Look, and
I've been waiting for this one.
I was actually wanting to petition this game to be a night game, and Fitzroy's lights are absolutely fantastic, because I reckon everyone from Div 4 down would be at that match. They would get thousands there. So, but I mean, look, with the way that Glenunga's been travelling at the moment, it would be pretty hard not to pick them.
Okay, at least it's been a long night.
It has.
As they say in Aquinas College, Tuesday's a long day, but give us your milestones, please.
Rightio, milestones, and we'll start from the lowest milestones, because they're still milestones. Ricky Fox from the Kilburn Football Club last week played his 100th game. Congratulations to him.
Son of Terry? Tony?
Possibly.
Moving on.
Yes. Also playing 100 games, now I can't remember if it was last week or this week, is Russell Mott, the man they call Noodles from the Brahma Lodge Football Club. Mark Richardson from the Adelaide Lutheran Football Club pulled his boots on for the 150th time. From the Smosh Footy Club, now is it Porplesia or Porplesia? Now I know the Adelaide Crows pronounces it one way, and then this Porplesia pronounces it another way. But Luke, 150 games, well done. Timmy Upton from Portland played his 200th game last week.
That's not bad for a 13-year-old. Young looking fella.
And Smosh captain Marty Davidson also played his 200th game last week, unfortunately going down to Kilburn there. Another one playing his 200th game this weekend is Matty Lehman from Brahma Lodge. Matty Lehman's been a great club man over many, many years around the Brahma Lodge Football Club. He's also the major sponsor of the club with his business Hartech as well. And look, at the sprightly young age of 35, was actually playing in the A-grade ruck, 2 or 3 weeks ago when they played us. So all the best for this week, Matty. Fantastic effort. And another one very close to my heart is a young gentleman named Trent Colbig, who plays his 250th game for North Haven this week. And it makes me feel old because I was actually there. I was actually the trainer at North Haven when he played his first A-grade game, I think back in 98 or 99 or something ridiculous like that. So fantastic to Trent, and he's had a few knee problems I think this year. So to come back and play that 250th game is fantastic.
You're a lot older than I thought.
Thanks. Now, I got another email from Ted at Smosh.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Ted.
We love you, Ted.
And he sent through the milestones, so thank you very much. And he also just wanted to add a footnote because he was very sorry that I couldn't attend the Ladies' Day last week because, the vodka. And he says here, just a footnote from Kelly Steubing, who was the coach's better half. The Ladies' Day function was a huge success. 50 ladies in attendance, plenty of bubbles in West End. And the day was made all the better by a young lady named Bianca Cousins, who was a star performer when she actually won the longest kick competition at half-time. Given the performance that Smosh put on last week, they're actually thinking of recruiting her for the A-grade. Lastly,
Hatches, matches and dispatches, or whatever you call them. Did you get one of them this
well,
week?
I did actually get another hatch, and this one comes from the Woodville South Football Club.
Yep.
We now have a third generation Clifford in the world. Bomber Junior, Adam, gave birth to his first child. I mean, it must
He
have
said
been
it
a couple of
hurt
weeks
too.
ago. His lovely partner must have done that then. But congratulations to him, and I can't remember whether it was a boy or a girl now, but obviously if it was a boy and it's got the Clifford name, obviously it's going to have a fair bit of football stick in a few
I
years'
heard
time.
it got in a blue with the midwife when it came out.
Now, please send us some more emails because, as you know, I really, really love emails, and our address to send that to is grassroots@saafl.asn.au. Finally, before we go tonight, just wanted to run through, because we're coming towards the halfway point of the season, and thought I'd just run through sort of the top 3 goal kickers in the league as it stands at this point in time. Got 2 blokes on 32 goals. Mark McCallum from Kilburn is on 32 goals, as is Mickey Gilling from Hope Valley Reserves. He's also on 32 goals as well, and I'll just keep mentioning Mickey because he's going to be doing my backyard for free. So love you, Mick, and I'll keep mentioning you every week as long as you keep kicking bags of goals. And Kobe Attridge from the Greenacres Football Club is on 31 goals. So given that we're, 2 weeks away from the halfway point? 3 weeks away. Makes you wonder whether actually anyone's going to reach that 100. I mean, unless someone kicks a bag of 14 or something like that in a couple of weeks.
Of course, the leading goal kicker in all C grade at the moment is Kim the Mustang Klomp. So well done to the head stomp Kim Klomp, who credits all his success to his coach, the great Martin Hamilton Smith.
And his headband.
And his headband, which is, he doesn't have long hair anymore, he's still got that tight
And he's still got the headband.
Of course, he did kick 100 a few years ago, didn't he?
I reckon he's kicked 100 on a couple of occasions, actually.
That's enough about him, for God's sake.
Yes, absolutely. Once again, thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, we will see you next week. We thank the Hectorville Football Club for having us here. What we'll do now, though, is bid you goodbye with the Gazer winning club song from Saturday night.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
did claim to invent the footy.